Hey Griffins, Mr. M here with your December SEL video. This month we're going to be talking all about the word integrity. That is our cipher word of the month of December. It's integrity. There's lots of different ways that we can think about this word integrity, but one that we really like here at Eagle Ridge is this definition. Integrity is when you try to do the right thing even when no one is looking. So it's about trying to do the right thing, not because we think we have to, or because we think we'll get in trouble if we don't, but because we know it's the right thing. It's because we know it's the kind and the thoughtful thing to do. So we're gonna be practicing that today. We're gonna be talking about conflict and how to work on a conflict with your friend all by yourselves and show integrity throughout the whole process. So trying to figure out how to do the right thing with your friend and fix a problem all by yourselves. All right, so we're gonna learn something called the peace process. The peace process is a few different steps that you can go through with your friend, and there's going to be a poster that I'm going to give to all of your teachers so you can look at these steps together. And this is going to be a way that you can work on this conflict together, figure out a solution, and become friends again at the end. All right, so here are the steps to the peace process. Number one is to breathe. Whenever we're in a conflict, it's really common to feel strong feelings, to be mad or sad or frustrated or lonely or one of those big, strong feelings. And it's kind of hard to have a conversation when you feel that way. So the first thing we want to do is just take a big, long, deep breath. All right, when we're feeling calm, we're feeling relaxed, it's going to be a lot easier to have this conversation. So step number one is to breathe. Step number two is to share your feelings. Like we said before, there are going to be a lot of different feelings that happen in a conflict, and a lot of times they're really, really strong feelings. So an important thing to do is just let the other person know how you're feeling. Focus on yourself and share the things about you and your feelings. I feel blank because blank, and let them know why it is that you're feeling the way that you're feeling. Once they know that, they can work with you on trying to fix the problem, fix the situation. Step number three is to try to find a solution. Every problem in the world has solutions. There's always something you can do to make it better, to make it right again. So as a group, when you're in a conflict and you're going through the peace process, you're gonna share ideas, you're gonna work together and try to figure out what can you do to try to make this better? What can you do to try to make this right? If you need some help in this stage, you can always ask for ideas, but it's best to try to do this all by yourselves when you're working on this conflict. So step number three is to find a solution. Step four is to apologize and move on. All right, once you've gone through these steps, you've figured out a solution, you've shared your feelings, all of those things have happened, and you give each other an apology, you get to move on. You get to put it in the past, and you get to be friends again. And that's a really important part of this process. So number four in the peace process is to apologize and move on. All right, so here's how we're gonna practice this today. So like I said, there's gonna be a poster that I'm gonna give to all of your teachers. So if you have that today, you can look at it and use it as you go through this. And we're gonna see a little video of a story today, a really popular story by Dr. Seuss, and it's called The Zacks. So it's a really short one. It'll only take a few minutes to watch this and to listen to this story. But in The Zacks, there are two main characters that we're going to be introduced to, and they get themselves into a conflict, and they don't solve this conflict. They do not figure out how to be friends again at the end. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to watch this video and hear this story. We're going to see how it ends, and then we're going to try to put them through the peace process. You're going to try to take those characters and try to figure out how, if they used the peace process, they could solve this conflict that they get in. All right? That's going to be our way of practicing it this month, and then hopefully we'll be able to use this peace process with each other and throughout the rest of the year as well. All right, here we go.
Oh, beyond the last mountain, the very last mountain, beyond the last Zanica tree, beyond the last woomph bush, the very last woomph bush, there is a vacuous, vacant prairie. The prairie of cracks and the tale of the Zacks.
One day, making tracks in the prairie of Prax, came a north-going Zacks, a north-going Zacks, and a south-going Zacks, a north-going Zacks, and a south-going Zacks. And it happened that both of them came to a place where they bumped. There they stood, foot to foot, face to face. "Look here now," the north-going Zack said. "Hey, say, you are blocking my path. You are right in my way. I'm a north-going Zax, and I always go north. Get out of my way now and let me go forth." "Who's in whose way?" snapped the south-going Zax. "I always go south, making south-going tracks. So you're in my way, and I ask you to move and let me go south in my south-going groove." Then the north-going Zack said with north-going pride, "I never have taken a step to one side, and I'll prove to you that I won't change my ways if I have to keep standing here 59 days. "And I'll prove to you," yelled the south-going Zacks, "that I can stand here in the prairie of Prax for 59 years. For I live by a rule that I learned as a boy back in south-going school. Never budge, that's my rule. Never budge in the least, not an inch to the west, not an inch to the east. I'll stay here not budging, I can and I will, if it makes you and me and the whole world stand still." Well, of course, the world didn't stand still. The world grew. In a couple of years, the new highway came through, and they built it right over those two stubborn Zacks and left them there, standing unbudged in their tracks.
Okay, so as you can see, the Zacks do not find a solution to their conflict at the end of the story. So once this video is over, I'll have you, as a class, either all together or in partners or whichever way your teacher would like you to do this today. But I want you to try to figure out, if you put them through the peace process, if you put the Zacks through the peace process, how could they have found a solution? How could they have apologized and moved on and found a way to solve this conflict and become friends again at the end? All right, so let's practice it today with this book, and then let's practice it with each other through the rest of the year. All right, let's have a fantastic rest of December, Griffins, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.